Andrew Moloney versus Junto Nakatani. Andrew Moloney's brother just won himself his first world title after going 0 for 2 in the past, and he finally got the job done against Astrolabio. Can Andrew do what his brother just did and become a champion a week after his brother was? Let's get into it. Let's start with the 2014 Commonwealth Games gold medalist Andrew Moloney. 28 wins, 2 losses, 16 wins by way of knockout. He was very active last year. 3 fights, went 3-0, and this is his first fight this year, but he's coming in good form, good consistency, good confidence, and he's going to come out ready to go. He's been very active, and that's always good. His 2 losses came from when he fought James Franco. They fought 3 times, he lost twice, and one of them ended by way of no contest. That fight was a couple years ago, and he's been able to bounce back from those losses and get back into his winning ways. Moloney has got good pop, he's got good hand speed, he can fight on the outside, and he's pretty good on the inside, even though he doesn't like to get in there too much, to me, in my opinion. But he has a good jab and puts together a good combination. He throws a decent amount of punches between the rounds. He's patient and often takes what's given to him. One thing I like about the Moloney brothers, man, is they come into a fight warm and ready to go. Like, they come in, the bell goes, all right, I'm going to push this jab out. I'm going to move and see what you got. They come in ready to fight. They don't need a couple rounds to warm up. And once he finds his groove and finds his rhythm, he's consistent with what he's doing. And it can work for him and sometimes slightly against him. Going back to his first Joshua Franco fight, early in the fight, he was making his presence felt. He was moving, he was slipping, he was jabbing, letting off combinations to the head, getting some good body shots in, but he wasn't really doing anything different in the sense of mixing up his attack. He was coming straight forward down the middle, letting off of his shots. He wasn't giving any different looks, not too many feints, wasn't changing angles, wasn't really doing any different positions or disguising anything. And Franco picked up on it, and he started to position Moloney to be right where he wanted him to be and started countering him and landed some clean uppercuts, and that changed the momentum of that fight. When Franco was on the attack and maybe he missed with the first punch, right, he snapped his other hand back quickly and the second shot often landed, right? Franco landed the more eye-catching, cleaner shots, even though Moloney was probably the busier fighter. Not all of his punches were going through. Moloney was staying at that mid-range spot, and I don't think that is the best spot for him to be, right? Because Franco picked him apart from that spot, from that position. In the second fight, the head clash stopped the fight before they really started to get going, and he was ruled a no contest. But Moloney, man, he was pushing that jab forward, right? Really using his jab to set things up. And that was a strong tool and asset for him in his previous fights. In the third fight, the final fight, Moloney I thought he fought a pretty good fight, man. He made adjustments using his feet, stayed more patient, tried to come in from different angles, tried to make it a more physical fight on the inside. In his last 2 fights, man, his jab was strong. He was consistent with using the jab and not going away from it or neglecting it, man. You can't get rid of the jab. It's the simple, fundamental, but one of the most powerful things when used correctly. In the first few fights, in the first 2 fights, he was using it, but in the third, he wasn't really using his jab as much. And it wasn't the same efficiency and accuracy with his jab, nor his punches, right? Moloney just wasn't landing a lot of clean punches in between the rounds. But Franco was, right? And Moloney didn't get the win. And sometimes you might fight someone over and over and over again, and they just got your number. And I think Franco has just got Moloney's number. But in his most recent fight where he fought Norberto Jimenez, man, he didn't get the stoppage win, but he dominated that fight. He was too physical. His work was consistent, right? His punches were clean and strong and snappy, had some pop behind him. He looked very confident in how he was moving in the ring, putting pressure on Jimenez, making him uncomfortable. And I like that he was committing, right, to being in a position where he could be on the attack and also evade shots that was coming back at him too, because Jimenez wasn't just going there to lie down. He fought back and landed some good shots of his own, but he just didn't have enough, man. Moloney was just a more complete fighter across the board than Haynes. But the interesting thing is, before Moloney fought Haynes, man, in his last fight when he fought Alexander Espinoza, he got up off the canvas and came back and got the stoppage. He got dropped when he fought Franco as well too. So he has been dropped in his fights, but every time that he's been dropped, he's gotten up, right, and found ways to finish the fight or found ways to come back and win the fight. But I don't really consider either of the guys that dropped him to be really big punchers either. And if those shots are kind of taking him down, I mean, Nakatani has got more pop than the guys that dropped Moloney, right? So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be a tough fight. But if Moloney can get behind his jab early, man, and make up in his mind what he's going to do, right? Either you're going to be physical or you're going to try to outbox Nakatani, but you can't sit in that mid-distance range because that's where Nakatani wants this fight to be. That's where he can really dominate a fight. And he also has to go to the body, man, and just make it a physical fight. But let's talk about his opponent, Junto Nakatani. 24 wins, no losses, 18 wins by way of knockout. If you've never heard of Junto Nakatani before, this is going to be someone who you're going to want to look out for, man. He does a lot of good things very well. He's a southpaw, has good power, nice, stiff, quick jab. He doesn't throw a lot of punches between the rounds, but when he does throw, it's accurate, it's intentional, it's powerful, and he can hurt you with both hands, man. His wingspan is long, and even though, he doesn't use it to his full advantage, he knows when to use it at the right time. He's strategic, and he disguises his attacks very well. It might look like he is trying to throw the jab, right? But he's just putting that hand forward, right? Putting that right hand forward to distract you so you're looking at it, and then boom, the other hand comes forward and it's coming from different angles, man. It's coming through your guard, it's coming over your guard, through your guard, under your guard. This man's just able to find the right openings and get the right shots in order for it to land. He is confident and he believes in his power and he believes in his skill. You can't let Nakatani control the range of the fight. You can't let Nakatani control the tempo of the fight because he'll pick you apart. If he keeps you in that mid-distance spot, man, he's going to swing heavy shots your way and he's going to find the right shots for it to get in there and land. When he fought Ryota Yamauchi, he was clipping him with so many clean shots, hard punches. And honestly, man, the amount of shots that Yamaguchi took, I'm even surprised that went 8th rounds because he was getting pieced up badly. And it didn't even look like Nakatani really broke a sweat. Yamaguchi tried to find his way in, but Nakatani just wasn't letting that happen, man. He kept it at that mid-distance range, using his feet to reset. And whenever Yamaguchi thought that he was about to come in and let off his shots, he would get countered with a couple, and that would make him a little bit hesitant to want to be able to go in with that same force and enthusiasm. And Yamaguchi has good power, right? He did some good work when he was able to get in on the inside, letting off combinations to the body. But again, Nakatani would just reset, get back to his spacing, and go back to seizing control of the fight. That was a great performance from Nakatani, man. It was the same thing Nakatani did to Acosta, right? He drew him into the shot he wanted and made him pay with the left. He'll just make you focus on the hand that's in front of you and then come forward and come through with that left hand, and it's sniping you every single opportunity that it can get. In his most recent fight, he fought Francisco Rodriguez in a bigger division, and the guy who was going to make Nakatani uncomfortable, and Nakatani passed that test, right? He had to find different ways how to be successful in the fight in real time. Rodriguez, man, he's a physical fighter. He's not going to give you room to breathe. He's going to stand close to you. He's going to be right next to you. He's going to be right beside you. He is going to be close to you. He's going to stick to you. And so you have to find different ways to be physical, but take the necessary risk, but make sure that you're not overcommitting to a shot where you put yourself in trouble. Nakatani, at the beginning, you could see he wasn't the most comfortable in that position, but he made subtle adjustments like tightening up his shots and using the uppercut, and him being physical as well too and creating space. You got to be able to find openings even when you're in an uncomfortable spacing and setting. You still got to find ways to win, and I think those are the fights that evolves a fighter, right? Because every fight is not going to be exactly how you want it to be. Some fights are going to be a little bit ugly, right? Some fights are going to test you in your weak areas, and you're going to have to find a way to win. That's what the elites of the elites do. No matter where you are, you got to find a way to win the fight. And I thought Nakatani did a good job of doing just that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the game plan is with both of these men and their team and how they come into this fight and the adjustments that they make in the ring. So who wins? I'm taking Junto Nakatani to win this one, man. And I think he wins by stoppage, right? As tough as Moloney is, he's not an inside fighter like that. He can go on the inside, but I don't see him being the more physical guy in this fight. I don't think that just comes naturally for him. He also likes to fight at that, slightly mid-distance range, man. And I think that's perfect for where Nakatani wants this fight to go. And with his skill, his power, and how accurate that he is, I don't know if Moloney can take consistent shots at the power that Nakatani is generating for too long, man. I just don't think any person can take too many shots like that. So I have Nakatani winning this fight by a late round stoppage, man. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Recently just started membership on the channel. I don't always get to do all of the suggested videos you guys suggest in the comment section below. But if you become a member, the videos you suggest, I will do my best to get those done for you that week. Or if you would like to become a member just to support the channel, man, that'd be greatly appreciated and really help out the channel a lot as well. Shout out to all the members already holding down the membership section, man. I appreciate each of you. Shout out to everybody that continues to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you all as well. So with all of that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.